Hey, what's up, guys? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hopefully, you guys are having a great start to your day so far. So, I wanted to talk about something that that's been kind of a pivot, a change. One that I didn't expect to see coming, but here we are. I am I am moving on from one passion that originally got me into the hobby back in the late 90s. And something that has kind of fueled my hobby for the better part of the last two decades. And, maybe this is something that you guys can kind of take away. I had a few people that wanted me to address and emphasize on getting into collecting certain things that are exciting, that's engaging, things that are going to provide kind of like that adrenaline kind of hit, along with some of the I don't know what's the word, some of the treasure hunt possibilities, just the endorphin rush inside of you. And I made an announcement through a previous video. I think it was the one with my wife in there, where she interviewed me because of the questions that you guys had. Which, by the way, fantastic. She loved that video. She goes back and watches it at least once a day. She's really embracing the role as being co Blue Ridge Silverhound owner. So. I'm glad to have her onboarded, and it's come to one of those points. Her bringing her along. I hear a lot of things like it's great to see a husband and wife. It's not all cringy. It's something that she wants to do. Like, I didn't force her into it. Things like that, and it helps her be a part of the brand. Because if something were to happen to me, she could kind of take over and then do her thing on the channel, and hopefully you guys will embrace that as well. And the reason why that this video comes up is she's kind of like that great parallel, that great example of what to do as a new person in the hobby, in the coin collecting hobby, whatever you want to call it. And what I did that was so satisfying and gratifying was, here, I'll show you. See this here? This is one of about 12 bags that I have sitting in the garage right now of nothing but wheat cents. All right. I've accumulated quite a bit of them over the last 2 years, but never went through them. And it took me a while to accumulate what I had here. 2 years and only, 60,000 wheat cents? I mean, usually I go through a lot more than that in 1 year. However, these are all coins that have been sitting around the house for the better part of the last 2 decades. I actually had to clean off all the dust and crap off the cobwebs, so that way I could sell them, because this is a part of me that is moving on, so that way I can concentrate on other things like kind of expanding the brand of Blue Ridge Silverhound. And we're going to start doing merchandise. I'm writing my own book. I'm in the middle of doing that hopefully will come to fruition sometime in the beginning of next year. So stay tuned for that. More details to come. I'm excited. But the part of me that brought me to where I am today was searching through these wheat cent bags. Yeah, I'm sitting here pounding it, so I don't know if you can hear it. This is how I kind of got started. This helped me with grading. It helped me understand the different dates and how through time, because it's a very long series. It goes from 1909 all the way up to the current date. You get to see the morphing of the coins and the design and the dates. Like, for example, the design of the number 3 on a 1933 Lincoln cent, for example, has a different type style than the 1934 Lincoln wheat cent. And it's even more different if you were to compare that to, say, a 1953 Lincoln cent. Like the three changed three, four, or five times throughout the course of the series, which spans over 100 years. So there's that. But my biggest passion, of course, is going through these, looking for those varieties, repunch mint marks, over mint marks. I've found quite a few of them over the last 20 plus years. Different errors in there, strike throughs, laminations, things like that. And these are coins that kind of fueled my passion and eventually got me to fuel the channel to where it is today. So this was a great stepping stone. But because of where I am at in the business and my life, like right now, I'm homeschooling my younger daughter, all right, which is consuming a fair amount of my time during the day. And I'm getting older. I just don't have the time to go through these bags. So I've been spending the better part of the last 24 hours wrapping these up because I'm doing a sale tonight, as a matter of Tuesday night, tonight, this evening, for some of these unsearched rolls. Now, with these things, I don't just go out and buy them anywhere. I've done the whole experiment of buying these at coin shops, which you could do. And there are some coin shops that really genuinely don't search with a fine-tooth comb. And what I mean by that is they don't care too much about the varieties or the errors. They care about the singular dates. Like the likelihood that there is a 1909 SVDB sitting in this bag that I have right here is a very, very small percentage, all right? Because usually that's something that gets caught really early on. Same with the 14D, 22 plain, no mint mark, 31S, which, by the way, I believe that a lot of those were saved at the time of issue. And that's why a lot of them are in such high condition. But for the most part, I will go through a full bag and I will come away, either a really big winner or not so much a big winner. But the secret to my success is I go out and I buy these direct from the public, right? From people that maybe have received them through inheritances or, something to that effect. Because these are truly unsearched. The people I talk to are like, I don't know what's in there. All I know is they're all weed scents. Been through a number of these bags, and there's Indian head scents in there, a few flying eagles. So it's a really cool treasure hunt, but I prefer to deal directly with the people. Now, is it bad to buy these from the dealer? Again, no. I'm stressing this. I've done before. I have found a lot of great stuff. A lot of these coins, because I have so many multiples of each variety, I end up reselling and making more money than I could possibly ever imagine. Now, obviously, money isn't the ultimate motivation, but if you need to get into something that has a lot of long-term equity, you could do a whole hell of a lot worse, right? People go out there and they buy silver and things like that as kind of like a hedge, against inflation and kind of like a monetary, physical type of way of storing money. That's all fine. I do the same thing. I have silver, I have 90%, I have, rounds, bars, things like that. And it's cool. It's all good. But these pennies right here have been kind of like my saving grace over the last like 15 years. Okay. When I come home from work and the day's stressful, I spend a few hours at night going through the pennies. Okay. And this is before I had my youngest daughter, things like that. So there was a lot of time and I could afford that time to do this. It's a great escape. It's a great outlet, to go through this. You just arm yourself with a magnifying glass. Okay, that's important. This is a 30X, by the way. I've used this for, that same one I've used for about 12 years. It's fallen apart and it's okay. It still does the job. And I may keep riding it till the thing falls apart into a million pieces. But what we're trying to get at here is that for those of you that are kind of like deciding, you're in flux, you're a little bit in limbo about how to approach the hobby in a common sense, like, I don't want to pretend I'm more than I am type, you don't want to have this cavalier attitude, like, hey, I have this, and this, it's worth this much. because Blue Ridge Silverhound says so. No, it doesn't work out that way. If you're just starting out and you want something fun, that like this, I found this album. This is one of the albums that I bought from a private party to go along with a few of the bags, and I'm selling this tonight. All right, but people would normally buy things like this. This, by the way, is an old Dansko album, probably from about 40 years ago. It's still in really good shape. Someone who had it did write in there, because, well, actually, it could be a lot older than that. The final date in here is 1967. So that is considerably older. And usually, whatever the last final date is in an album, that is when the issue was. So this thing, believe it or not, was this thing issued in 1967? Old Dansko, very nice quality, and the book is in great shape. It's got some pretty neat dates in there, 13S, 13D. But these, ladies and gentlemen, are all coins that I find out of the bags, and I fill up the albums, and I just have fun. I have fun with it that way, and then you get to learn grading. Some of the things that I've come across are like the woody wood grain toned coins, which are very collectible. They call them woodies. They're in a proper alloy mix that you come across. I might have one somewhere around here that's pretty decent example. I don't know if you guys can see it. I have a few of them right here. So here is a 1928, I believe. Can't even do that right this morning. I don't know if you can notice. You can see the striations across the coin, kind of give it that zebra stripe pattern. All right, it's actually on both sides of the coin as well. So I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't even blow it in, but you can see that patterning there. So with these earlier coins, you do come across these quite a bit. On the secondary market, they sell for around $10-15, so they're nothing extraordinarily extravagant. But when you do come across these, all right, these are a lot of fun because they have that eye appeal. And that's just, yet again, one other thing that I look for in these bags. Like if I dug my hand in here, for example, there's some pretty nice red browns in there, like that. Here's one that's a lot better, actually. Look at this one, and there's quite a few of these. And from the person I bought this from, they had mentioned that their grandfather or great-great-grandfather, I think, goes back 4 generations, I think. He saved all of his wheat cents. And also, I did find some BU memorials in here from 59 to 1964. So this is a very early assemblage of coins. And there's teens, 20s, 30s, 40s in there. For me to go out and buy from private parties, I actually pay more for the full count bags. As a matter of fact, I ended up weighing this one. And it didn't quite come out to 5,000 coins. It actually came out more than that. It was like almost 5,800, because there's a certain weight value for each pound of coin. It equates to this many pennies. And that's kind of like an easy way of doing it, short of, actually counting the things if you have a counting machine. But we went with an estimation for a bag like this. I paid them $340 for this bag, which is above market. But I understand, but this is unsearched, stuff. And then with that kind of inventory, you pay a little bit more for it. If it was a coin dealer that bought this, they would have paid them 2 cents a piece. But I like to go out of my way. This is the kind of thing that gets me all jacked and excited. All right. And then that's what you guys need to do. You need to find something in the hobby to get you jacked and excited. Okay, it's not the money thing. If it hasn't occurred yet and you haven't had your big sale and you're brand new at the game, okay, money is never going to be your number one as to what gets you jacked and excited for being in numismatics. Okay, it has to start out somewhere like this. It doesn't necessarily have to be pennies, but this is something that is kind of like the low-hanging fruit of the hobby. It's easy to obtain. Again, you could go to a coin shop. You could buy them at coin shows. You can buy these locally, put out, which is what I did. I actually put out advertisements on Facebook through my local groups, and that's how I was able to obtain some of these. And I've come to a point where, I simply just don't have the time because my priorities have shifted from doing all of the things. And don't get me wrong, this still excites me to no end, if and only if I have the time. But when the time is not there, it's just not going to happen. All right. So I'm passing this over to you guys. Our first sale comes tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. This is more than just pitching my whatnot stream for these unsearched roles. Of course it is, but I'm passing this over to you guys, number one. Number two, people get stuck on this kind of like idea of approaching the hobby. They don't know what to do, but doing something like this, you're able to knock out multiple things in one shot. You get to learn about grading, you get to learn about the mid processes, the different types of type styles and the design changes and things like that. It's incredible. And of course, there's a lot of history built into it. A lot of these coins circulated during World War II, and then there's steel cents in here and all sorts of great things. You're like, oh, why is this made out of steel while all these other ones are made out of copper? And it forces you to do some research. And then when you come and identify the real reasoning as to why, they made these steel cent in 1943, all right, then you gain more perspective. You have more appreciation for probably not only the series, but what occurred during that time, because it was very real. And it's something that happened, and the United States pivoted from making our copper cents that we all know. And then for 1 year, we have to ration copper for the war efforts. So we're going to do zinc plated steel or zinc coated steel, or however you want to do it. So that's what I want to talk about here. Again, I'm going to be working through the day to get as much of this as I can rolled. I already did some last night. I did about 30 rolls. I'll probably have, I'm hoping for like 70 or 80 rolls ready to go for tonight, and give some of you ample opportunity to take a stab at it, So, it's fun. The hobby's fun, and it's always good when you have the opportunity to kind of dive in and dip your hands into like older collections that were accumulated 70 years ago during the 50s, back when silver was still circulating, and the idea of copper nickel clad wasn't even a thing. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I do have another whatnot auction this Friday. And then we actually have a coin show on Friday as well. We might do a little bit of something there. Me and my wife are going to be in a little bit of a competition. So we will reveal that and see what happens. But it's going to tie into the whatnot auction as well for the competition. And, it's going to be a lot of fun. And then we'll do some sort of like giveaway reward thing during the stream for supporting, what we're doing and all that great stuff. So that's really why I wanted to talk about. I'm kind of like dragging it for 1 extra minute so we get to the 20-minute mark. I know it's a little bit long in the wind here. But yeah, I'll also be selling this because I don't need another one of these. And that's a really nice vintage album, and it's in really nice shape as well. So some of the other things that I'm getting into, because I have this one here, I ended up getting this Washington Quarters Dansko album for free. These things right here, because they're not being produced by the company anymore, they sell for like $25-30, the albums. So they're not cheap. At issue, they were about $30-35, and they have the cellophane wrapper, the shrink wrap on them as brand new. But take a look, I've already started, and this is a collection that has a lot of challenges, like a lot of these 1930s Denvers and San Franciscos, and I'm shooting for all mid-state, even the 32 DNS, which are the key dates of the series. But some of these 30s S&Ds, they're going to end up setting me back $100 per coin. All right. So this collection, as simple as it seems, because you could just plug in just any old condition coin in there. You could put a VG36S in there that you paid melt for, and that's fine. You know, that's one way of doing it on the cheap. But for what I'm looking to do with this album, man, it's going to end up costing me just to do this first page, probably easy $2,500 to $3,000 in Mint State. And then the 32 DNS, I'm thinking about buying those already graded and then cracking out the holders. And I'll show you guys a video on that later. But as you can see, I don't have too much. I mean, this one lone quarter is a 36, you know, that I paid like 25 bucks for. 47S I grabbed for $10, which is a deal, and it's the FS 501 RPM, which is even better. And then, you know, more of the 1950s silver. These are all kind of like in that $5 to $7 range. Very easy to obtain for some of these 50s dates. And then, of course, you got all the clads, which I'm just about nearly full on that, along with the proof coins. So I added this one. I just got started with this one last week. So I had a lot of these coins already. I actually had a few mixed BU rolls that I cracked open to get this one started. But yeah, that's kind of like my brain and what's going on right now. Kind of like my collecting direction. Like, I'm trying to ease up on the quantity and excess of the things I do have, like these weed scent bags are taking up so much room in the garage that they need to go. So I'm going to be spending the better part of the next like 60 days, one time a week, selling these things. So if you guys are interested and you want some truly unsearched inventory to go through, where you don't have to worry about it. Now, I'm going to say that there's probably no key dates in these. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that. Because that we assume every time before we, expect the better out of all of it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Consider it like a helpful lesson in getting you started and identifying, that sweet spot, but also at the same time promoting what I have going on Whatnot. And again, if it's your first time on Whatnot, I'll have the referral link that's built and tailored to me, so that way when you do sign up, you get $15 in usable store credit right away. It comes right off of it after your first purchase. And come check things out. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of folks that are going to be interested in these. Like last time I did one, I bought a bag, a very big, massive bag. There was like 7,000 coins in there. I'm surprised that the bag held up. And these things, they hold a lot of weight. But yeah, I'm looking forward to selling these like I did the 1940s unsearched. Those sold quickly and for more money than I had imagined. So with these, it should be a little bit more reasonable for you guys if you wanted to get in, buy a few 2 or 3, 4 lots to make it worth your while shipping wise. But that's it. So hope to see you guys tonight. Hopefully this video addresses some of kind of like the things that you may be going through that might kind of like stump you a little bit on how to get started with a hobby. And hopefully this helps ease things a little bit, gives you a little bit of direction, because I was in the same boat too. I didn't know what to collect. And the last thing you want to do is collect a little bit of everything and you don't focus on what you truly love, because it could be a rat race. The U.S. coin hobby is so big and broad right now that you could go in any direction and feel complacent, content, things like that. So that's it, guys. I'm out of here. Hope to see you guys soon. Hope to see you guys tonight on the Whatnot stream. And you guys have a wonderful day. Keep on collecting, my friends. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you.